Hi guys, it's Kino. Welcome to another video. So today's pick a card reading is going to be messages and predictions for your month of April 2024. We are going to start off with a general overview of your month where we'll look at the main themes and the main energies of your month, significant events and changes that are coming your way, and then we will look into the specific areas of your life. So we're going to take a look at your love life and relationships, your career and studies, and your spiritual and personal growth. And then at the very end of the reading, we are going to get messages from your spiritual team for anything they would like you to know as you move into this new month. So there are 3 groups for you to choose from today. I'm going to show you these crystals up close one by one, and please pick whichever one you feel drawn to the most. Number 1 is Iolite. Number 2 is Fluorite. And number 3 is Celestite. Okay, so as always, take all the time you need to pick. You can pause the video if you need to. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with number 1. Hi number ones, so if you guys chose the Iolite, this is going to be your reading all about your month of April 2024. We are going to start off with the general overview part of your reading where we're going to see the main themes and the main energies of your month. And to do that, we're going to be using these oracle cards. So let's get right into it. Your first oracle card is number 31, Vanilla Infused Memories, Enjoyment, Relaxation, Ease. So this is a card that is all about taking it easy, slowing down, and prioritizing self-care. So it's quite likely, I just saw the number 44 by the way, so that's your spiritual team saying that you are meant to be doing this right now. You are called to slow down right now. If you are feeling less motivated towards the hustle or feel like you are getting less done, I almost want to say if you feel like you're getting less done from a capitalist perspective, that's because you're meant to be in this energy, in a slower, more intentional energy and reclaiming yourself. I do think that for many of you who chose this group, the month of April will just be slower. So you could have less of a workload. Things could just be less busy. It's not actually that you're doing less. It's just that you're spending your energy and spending your time on things that feel good and on things that really recharge you, rather than just, checking things off of a to-do list. You are redirecting your energy to care for yourself and to replenish yourself. With vanilla infused memories here, it could be that you're making some beautiful memories in the month of April. I want to say through being creative, through exploring your creative side, through spending time with friends, family, and loved ones. The energy feels very soft and gentle and loving. And you could also be fondly looking back on memories from the past. Something that's coming through is that you're able to now look back on a time in the past that was maybe hard for you, and to finally be able to look back on it fondly or to make peace with the way that things turned out, because you now see how it led you to where you are today. And if I'm getting very specific, vanilla could be a significant scent or flavor, or even like a significant plant for some of you. And also rabbits could be significant to you. The rabbit could be one of your spirit animals, or someone born in the year of the rabbit could also be significant to you. So just last year, 2023, was the year of the rabbit. 12 years before that was 2011, 1999. You keep going back 12 years. Those are years of the rabbit. With the number 31 here, obviously there is no 31st of April, But this could be an indication that this kind of soft and slower energy will carry on into the beginning of May. It could also be that someone who is 31 years old or who was born on the 31st could be significant to you. So let's see what else we have for you. We have imperfection with the number 20. I understand that imperfection makes uniqueness. Interesting. So this kind of gives context to the previous card, because this really feels like full-on embracing of yourself and accepting of yourself just the way you are, and recognizing that your imperfections make you unique, and that makes you special, and that makes you beautiful in your own way that is unique to you, that nobody can replicate. There's only one you, and you are the best at being you. And I just I find these cards so interesting together, because maybe for some of you, what has been propelling you to work harder and to do more and to get more done faster has kind of been rooted in this idea that you're never quite enough, or you're never quite doing enough, and you have to keep striving to be something better or to be something different. I almost see this correlation where it's like, the more you start to love yourself and accept yourself, the less you feel motivated towards certain things, which I think then highlights what was motivating you in the first place. You know, if loving myself suddenly makes me less motivated, maybe I was relying on like completing these tasks or fulfilling these duties to feel worthy. Like I felt like I had to prove my worth, that I had to strive to be better, that I had to change myself to be worthy. And so the more you start to love yourself, it's like certain things just can't move you. You can't feel pressured to get up and do the same things, because you're like, what's the point? So it feels like there is a revisiting of priorities that is going on here, and that the things you commit to from here on out will not come from an energy of lack or an energy of fear or feeling the need to prove yourself through this external thing. The things that you're committing to from here on out come from a place of pure love for yourself and love for others, and just a desire to explore yourself, to serve the collective, to share with your community, to share love. And ooh, it's going to feel so good, or it's already starting to feel so good. The things, the people that you commit your energy to from here on out is going to feel so good, because it's coming from such a good place. Ooh, I love this energy. I also feel like a lot of you guys are in the process of discovering your calling or stepping into your calling. And I do feel like for many of you, yes, I'm hearing being in your calling will not require you to sacrifice or abandon any part of yourself. Which, when I say it out loud, it seems like, yes, of course. But I think it's a truth that many of us lose sight of. And as we pursue the things we think we're meant to pursue, we're actually suppressing or throwing away parts of ourselves along the way, because we feel like this is just what you need to do to be successful. And you're stepping into your calling that has space for every facet of you and allows you to be fully you. And that realization that I was already whole and I was already perfect for my specific calling, ooh, it feels very emotional. I'm sorry if I sound like a broken record, but it feels so good. And I don't know if I said this already, but I do think you are a very creative being, a very creative soul, and whatever you do in the world will allow you to express the creative side of yourself. The other thing I want to say is that while I do think life will slow down for you this month, which I think is a good thing, like having less demands on you, having less stressful things to tend to, while life may be slowing down for you, you also have to choose to slow down. Because in the midst of that slowness or stillness, you could force yourself to do something, or you could spend your time worrying about the things you have to do in the future. So it's like, yes, life will slow down for you, but you also have to make the conscious decision to embrace that and to slow down, is kind of how it's coming through. So for your next two oracle cards, we have some astro cards. So let's see what other energies are relevant for you. We have T square. Yeah, so this feels like a conflicting energy. I feel like there is a part of you that really wants to embrace this energy and step into a more authentic way of living, but then there's also that voice of anxiety, that voice of ego that is pulling you in the other direction, that is telling you, oh, things are gonna fall apart, or you're gonna fall off the wagon, or you're gonna become irrelevant, or you're gonna fall behind, and blah, blah, blah. Like, there's still that conflicting voice that is pulling on you, but I want you to know that even with that voice there, you can move ahead towards authenticity, and you are ready for that. We also have Pisces. So a Pisces person, someone with Pisces placements could be significant, whether that is you or someone else. These are kind of similar, no? Like the formation, we have this one planet that is being pulled on by these two other ones, and then we have this being who has two fish behind them. It really feels like, it almost feels like the angel and the devil on the shoulder kind of thing, where you may feel that your mind is pulling you in two ways. It feels like there's a voice inside of you that's like, yes, let's reject this idea that we need to keep hustling. Let's reject this idea that we need to change ourselves in order to be worthy, in order to be successful. And you're like, yeah, let's do that. And then there's that other voice inside of you that's like, you're making a mistake, you're gonna fall behind, you're not gonna get anything done. And it might feel like a tug of war at sometimes, or you might find that throughout this month you oscillate between those two energies. And I think that's very normal, because healing is so rarely, if ever, like I was in this unhealthy mindset and now I'm in a good one, A to B, and now I've healed completely. So I think it's normal to oscillate between these two. It's also normal to feel both at the same time. So I think it's really important not to judge yourself. I also think, because Pisces is a very giving energy. It's a very, it feels like sacrifice. And we've spoken about sacrificing parts of yourself, but this group, you may also have a tendency to sacrifice yourself and your own needs for anyone you feel you can help, or who anyone you feel needs you. And there may be a risk of you spreading yourself too thin because of this urge inside of you to like serve everyone and to help everyone and to cater to everyone, that you may even kind of lose yourself in the process. And for some reason, an example that's coming to my mind is like a content creator who, you know, they'll have some parts of their audience being like, can you do more of this kind of thing? And they're like, yeah, okay, I'll do more of this kind of thing. And then there's people over here being like, oh, I miss when you used to do this. Can you do more of this? And then they're like, yeah, okay, I'll do more of this too. And it's like, they're just responding and saying yes to everyone because they want to meet those person's needs, and they want to help them. They want to provide something that is beneficial to them. But then they end up pulled in all of these directions, like Elastigirl style. That's just the visual I have in my mind. Or even in your personal life, like, oh, this friend needs my help, this family member needs my help. And it's not even just like feeling pressure. It's a genuine desire. Like, I want to help and serve everyone. And I think recognizing that you are just one person, that you are just one body, and that you only have so much time and energy and that you can't help everyone, I think that's really important for sustaining your energy. And also remembering that the universe has the capacity to help every single person who needs it, and it doesn't necessarily have to come from you. So, you know, if someone's saying, I need you to do more of this, you may not be the one who is meant to give that to them, and they may be able to find what they need elsewhere, and that's okay. Like, you cannot be all things to all people. Yes. We have the numbers 12 and 20, which could be important dates. That could be like a range within the month of April that is significant. 31 could also be like 13 if you reverse the digits. So like something important could happen around the 12th or the 13th of the month, like an auspicious energy that will continue until around the 20th. But now let's take a look at your tea leaf card. So we are going to see any other things you should know about the month, things to look forward to, things to look out for. We have lightning, control your anger or you will be sorry. 4-leaf clover, great good fortune. And wealth, oh goodness. Honestly, I don't really vibe with this message, control your anger or you will be sorry. If this means something to you, of course, feel free to claim it, but I am not really feeling that this message is super relevant for most of you. I am more so focusing on the image of lightning, which feels like something coming in very suddenly. It feels like an epiphany or a windfall of some kind. And then underneath it, we have great good fortune and wealth. So some of you could be having money suddenly coming in for you. Like in this card, money is literally falling from the sky. And in this card, the lightning is coming down from the sky. So you could just get hit with a large sum of money through luck or through being at the right place at the right time. You could also get hit with a sudden epiphany of something you want to do, or like hit with a sudden inspiration that gets you unblocked in your work or unblocked in your creative endeavors. And then that brings in a lot of abundance from what you made or the plans that you carried out. And yeah, I do feel like there's an element of luck because, you know, having the talent to create something beautiful is one thing, but then it's like you also need that lucky break of being at the right place at the right time and being visible to the right people. And I think you are going to get that kind of lucky break this month. So there could be a blessing coming to you in your profession or in your creative aspirations. If you have like a platform that could be growing very suddenly this month. So this concludes the general overview part of your reading. So we're going to move into the specific areas of your life now. As you can see, I have one tarot card and one oracle card each for your love life and relationships, career and studies, and spiritual and personal growth. So let's get started with your love life and relationships. We have the Fool, and we have Proton. Okay, so also 1818, I just saw. I feel like a Pisces person is significant because we have Pisces here, and then 18, that's the number of the Moon card in tarot, which is a Pisces card. Like someone with Pisces placements is going to be significant to you. Or like if you have Pisces placements, you could be feeling them very strongly this month. Maybe, I don't know off the top of my head. Also, I don't even know where your Pisces placements are if you have them, like what degree they're in, but a transiting planet If you have something in Pisces, a transiting planet could be aspecting it in a certain way that makes it very prominent for you this month. Anyway, let's get into this. So the Fool card I can interpret in, I was gonna say I can interpret it in a few different ways. And I just realized that one of the meanings of the Fool card is like an unexpected opportunity coming in, which does that not match with what we were just talking about here? Like an unexpected lucky opportunity, a lucky connection that is coming in for you. There's also this kind of recurring theme for this group where the universe is saying, I can arrange things for you, but it's on you to embrace it, or it's on you to move towards it. You know, I can slow things down and give you all the time and freedom in the world, but it's up to you what you will spend that time doing and what you'll spend that time thinking about, and if you will embrace that slowness. In the same way, I feel like the universe is bringing you opportunities and bringing you people who could be a very important connection for you later on, but it's still up to you to embrace them. So, you know, let's say you make a really amazing connection in your field, like someone you really want to collaborate with, or someone who could help like further your career. Just because you met them, it doesn't necessarily mean that anything is going to come of it. It may have to be combined with your action and with your own initiative. It's just the universe is kind of gently reminding you that there is a need for co-creating with them. So an unexpected opportunity could lead to you meeting lots of new, cool people. I'm hearing forward-thinking people, visionaries, people who spend a lot of time thinking about the future of the collective and really care about that. I'm hearing like big-minded, open-minded people, people who inspire you, people who push you to be a better version of yourself. This is kind of people you'll be surrounded with. I'm looking at this like positive charge of the proton. I think you're gonna have really positive influences around you. And I also think that you're just gonna be very attractive to people. I think you already are in general, but in the month of April, you are particularly attractive to people. With the Fool as well, there's a feeling of you, and this probably comes with your increased self-love and embracing your imperfections. I feel like you're starting to care a lot less about how people perceive you. Because it's like, if you don't like me, you're not meant to be in my life anyway. There's a feeling of, I don't need to bend over backwards to impress people, because if you vibe with me, you vibe with me. All I have to do is like show up as my authentic self, and if we're meant to be together, if we're meant to have a connection, then that will be enough. That will be perfect. And this not caring, this just like letting go, is really going to allow your true self to come out, and that's going to make you very attractive to people. And it's going to feel, I feel like this is just such a liberating energy for you. You are in an energy of liberating yourself. Red hair could be significant as well, because this person has reddish hair, this person has red hair. We have like curly red hair here. We also have straight blonde hair, which could be significant too. But you are really not giving a shit. Well, you are, but you are giving it selectively. You don't care what every single person thinks of you, or you don't care about meeting every single person's expectations. You understand that the ones who are meant to hear your message will hear it. The ones who are meant to be in your circle will be in your circle. The Fool feels very just like detached and carefree. And ironically, when you care less, you attract more. You attract what is really meant for you. I just love that we have this positive charge. I feel like overall, your relationships is going to be a wonderful, positive experience this month. I feel like you're going to be surrounded with support, positive feedback, praise, uplifting, and just feeling very grateful for your circle. And anyone who has like negative energy, or anyone who like doesn't like you or is sending funky shit your way, like they're not even gonna get to you. They're not even gonna be on your radar. For those of you who are in a romantic relationship, I feel like that's going to be going very well too. I feel like your partner is going to be super supportive of this new era of yours, where you are unconditionally loving yourself, where you are freeing yourself. They're going to be so happy for you because they're like, yes, this is the you that I know. The authentic you, this is who I fell in love with, and this is who I want to see more of. And I'm so happy that you're not putting this stress on yourself anymore. I'm so happy that you don't feel the pressure to conform to society's expectations or to please everyone evermore, and you're just like committed to being you. Oh, like everyone who loves you is going to be living for this era that you're stepping into. And that's how you know they're meant to be around. And if you are dating, or if you're single and looking for a romantic partner, that's like a surefire sign that someone is worth, like the connection is worth exploring, is if they recognize your values and like get your vision and get the energy that you're stepping into. So next, we are going to look at your cards for your career and studies. We have another major arcana. We have the Temperance card coming through, and we have energy. This is so freaking cool. This is literally like a representation of what we've been talking about. You see Temperance, how this angel is like balancing the water between the two vessels, striking the perfect balance, attaining mastery in it. You are redistributing your energy. Like imagine this vessel as areas of your life, and the water is your energy. And you are consciously deciding where it goes. This is your gift, that you can consciously decide what, where, whom to pour your energy into, what beliefs to pour it into, what thoughts, what habits, what comments from others, what connections, what projects. Like it is in your hands. And the universe is going to help you redirect your energy to where you want it to go. It's this feeling of no longer are you at the mercy of whatever wants to pull at your energy. Because sometimes life really does just have you being pulled in this direction and that direction. And I have to prioritize this, even if I don't want to, because I'm pulled this way. This is demanding of my energy right now. And I feel like you're taking it all back now, and you get to decide which cups your energy is going into. I think when it comes to your career and studies, improving focus could be a big thing that you are interested in. I was going to say improving focus could be a big focus of yours. Like finding out what makes you more focused, what makes you more efficient, eliminating distractions, eliminating things that drain your energy. You could be revamping your routine or making a new routine. And yeah, it feels like restoring the balance, because there was maybe something in your work or in your studies that was just taking up way too much of your time and energy when it didn't have to. And you could either be letting go of that thing or just finding a more efficient way to do it, so that you have a lot of leftover energy that you can use for other things. It's like taking stock of, I'm imagining someone who's budgeting, and they're like keeping their receipts and taking stock of like, this is how much I spent on food this month. This is how much I spent on subscriptions. And because sometimes you don't realize, you're like, oh my God, am I really spending that much money on this thing? And then consciously reorganizing their budget, which is a way of empowering themselves. It's like you're doing the same thing with your mental energy or with your labor. Maybe looking at how much time you spend working on something in a week, or like what is asking of your energy and labor. And you could be surprised at what has been the most demanding of you or what has been draining you. And this feels very much, all of this really just feels like reclaiming your energy and reclaiming your power, but it's like you are rebalancing your energetic consumption and doing it more intentionally and doing it in a way that is more empowering for you. I love your energy group number one. Okay, finally, we are going to look at your cards for spiritual and personal growth. So for your tarot card, we have the Page of Cups. And for your oracle card, we have Light Curve. Yep. And there's water energy again. Water is coming through quite a bit. Pisces came through twice. This is technically not a water sign, but there is water in the imagery. Even like this is Aquarius, which is the water bearer. And then we have the Page of Cups, which is also water. You could be attracting a lot of water signs in the month of April, or like an important soulmate is a water sign, or like your water placements are just really coming through and shining this month. Page of Cups, like it's a page. It feels like the beginning of a new era for you. A faded new beginning. And I think you're embracing your vulnerability and your softness and your humanness. You know, we talk a lot about, well, I think we talk a lot about like making ourselves smaller to fit in, which perhaps you have done, but I think there's also been a lot of feeling pressure to make yourself bigger. Like, I have to be big and take up lots of space and be important and achieve big things. But coming from an inauthentic place. Trying to inflate yourself. Feeling that pressure to compete about who's bigger. And so in a weird way, I feel like this is actually about allowing yourself to just be small. Like I don't, and I'm not saying you are small, but like I don't have to artificially inflate anything about myself. I don't have to try to be impressive to people. I don't have to be an expert. The Page of Cups is like, I can be a beginner. I can be a child. I can be vulnerable. I can be soft. I can be low key. There's that kind of feeling. I can be big and loud and take up space when I want to. And I can be quiet and small when I want to. But it's going to be my choice. I also think, like with this light curve, I think you are embracing, sorry, there was like a hair. I think you are embracing the ups and downs of life and embracing that your progress is going to look like this. And that's another, I think I talked about this at the beginning of the reading, like the illusion that progress is linear, whether that's like making money, whether that's healing, whether that's growing your impact. It's never like this. And it might be, if you're just looking at a section of the graph, it might look like that. But when you look at the full picture, it is never truly like that. It goes up and down, and then it goes up again, and it goes forwards and backwards and it goes all over the place. And I think you're just embracing your natural way of being. And I'm gonna say it again, it feels so good. You are embracing your natural way of being, embracing that there's gonna be ups and downs, that there's gonna be steps forward and steps backward, but little by little, you are moving in the right direction. If you look at the ups and downs over time, little by little, you are moving up. This feels, the way the page is holding the cup, it just gave me a feeling of like holding your inner child close. Holding your inner child close and telling them it's okay. And some of you may even be kind of identifying the point in your life, because I do think it was from quite a young age where you started to feel like, okay, if I'm going to be accepted, I have to abandon this part of myself. If I'm going to be accepted, I have to abandon this need that I have. I have to abandon this desire or this passion or this excitement that I have. I have to abandon this wound. Like, we don't have time for that. When did you start feeling like you have to suppress or throw away parts of yourself to survive or to be accepted or to get the attention that you needed? And can you tell that version of yourself, that young version of yourself, I promise we're not doing that anymore. I promise I'm going to protect you. We are not going to do that from now on. I don't know why it's taken me until now to notice the fish, because fish is a pretty common part of the Page of Cups, but that feels even more Piscean. Let me know if you're a Pisces, or if there's an important Pisces in your life, or like water sign, because I feel like that is coming up a lot. So for the final part of the reading, we're just going to get some messages and guidance from your spiritual team for the month ahead. Would you be nervous performing for a galaxy you'd never see again? So this is also giving the feeling of not caring about what every single person thinks of you. But I also wonder if this is your spiritual team foreshadowing that you are going to have some kind of platform this month, or your platform is going to be growing. And this increased visibility could make you nervous. But that's why it's so important to remember, like, the ones who are meant to be in your circle, they already love you. They already vibe with you. And the ones who don't vibe with you, they can move along. And if they feel the need to stick around and be like, I don't like this, that says everything about them and nothing about you. It's your job to be you, and it's other people's job to stick with you if they like it and move along if they don't. It's not, like, what people think about you is kind of not your business, unless they're like in your intimate circle. But anyway, yeah, I feel like this is foreshadowing of a platform growing. We have the angel. It is very glary. Sorry if it's been really bright this whole time, but we have the angel of forgiveness here, and it says forgiveness will set you free, and that your angels are going to be helping you so that you can be kinder to yourself and you can free yourself. Aww. And then finally, you know what's so cool though? I'm just realizing these pink and yellow colors remind me of this self-love oracle deck, the I Love Me oracle deck. I'm gonna have this link down below because it's such a beautiful deck. But I love that we have this message about forgiveness, and there's been so many messages about self-love and self-acceptance. And then I have come to associate these colors with self-love. I also often see these colors together, pink and yellow. Let's take a couple from this deck, because I feel like she's calling to you. They both fell on the floor. Okay. We have we have clean and tidy up your space. So your room or your house might need a clean. I'm taking that very literally. And connect to your inner guidance. If you've been having a hard time like relaxing or connecting with yourself or just like getting into a meditative state, it may be something in your physical environment. Like maybe there's clutter, or maybe there's some kind of sounds or smells or lighting that is just not, that is causing disharmony. So cleaning or rearranging your physical environment could help bring you more peace and help you connect with your inner voice more. And then finally, we have the goddess of air, and we have the number 15. Yeah, like mid-month seems to be quite important for this group. Like 12th, 13th, 15th, the teens, that period in the middle of the month seems to be important. Also noticing that we have straight blonde hair again, or yellow hair. So that's coming through. Someone with this hair or someone with curly red hair is significant. Oh my gosh. And this card says like you are mastering, you're becoming a master of intention and mastering your own life. And that's literally this energy. Also, we have 14 here, and we saw 18 too. The teen days, I'm telling you, the teen days of April, they're important. You are becoming a master of your life because you are becoming a master of your intention. So no longer is energy getting pulled away from you or drained from you unbeknownst to you. It's you are now consciously and very intentionally using your energy. And I love that for you. So group number ones, these are all the messages that I have for you. So we're gonna end your reading here. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm gonna have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch tons of timeless, exclusive pick a card readings just like this one, except for this one is not really timeless because it's the month of April, but the readings on Patreon are timeless and they're good. Anyway, so I'm also going to link my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video that is an original song. I will also have my latest release linked down below, which is quite new. And why am I spacing out in the outro? Anyway, I will also link my vlog channel and my merch, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really, really appreciate having you here, and I'm sending so much love to you, to anyone who appeared in this reading directly or indirectly. I'm sending love to your higher self, your spirit guides, your spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. Have an amazing month of April, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi number twos, so if you guys chose the Fluorite, this is going to be a reading all about your month of April 2024. We are going to start off with the general overview part of the reading, where we look at the main themes and the main energies of your month ahead, and we're going to be using these oracle cards for that. So let's get right into it. Your first oracle card is number 40, Butterfly Musings, Comfort, Positivity, and Spiritual Growth. So right away, butterflies could be an important spirit animal for you, but this is such a beautiful feeling. I feel like this is you, and these are your guardian angels watching over you. You're feeling comforted because you can feel their presence very strongly. You feel them with you. You feel them protecting you. This group, you could have one or multiple loved ones who have passed on to the other side, and this month you are receiving a lot of signs from them. Of course, they are always with you at all times, but I feel like during this month, it's like the veil, you're feeling that the veil is thinner. between this realm and the other side, and you're receiving a lot of really specific signs that let you know that your loved ones are with you and they're watching over you and they've got your back. If there's anything coming up in this month that you are nervous for, like you don't know what the result is going to be and you're feeling kind of uneasy about it, just know that your guardian angels have got your back and they're going to protect you. We also, yeah, literally, we have security. You are going to be receiving a lot of signs that you are protected during this month. And if there's anything you need to know about in terms of like, stay away from that, don't go down that path, that's not good for you, trust that you are going to be protected from that, that you are going to get the signs when you are meant to redirect. There's a feeling for this group, I don't know if this is for everyone, but just having some worries about the result of something. I don't know which way it's going to go, or like, I don't know which path I should choose. And your loved ones and your spiritual team are saying, don't worry, you've got this, like everything's gonna go well for you. Trust that you are gonna make all the right decisions. You are wise, like you've got this. And just, I see your heart just breaking open, like, and just letting all of that love and protection in and feeling really comforted by having this strong spiritual team. That's beautiful. We have Virgo. So you could be a Virgo or have Virgo placements, or someone with Virgo placements is going to be significant to you in the month of April. And we have Jupiter. That's abundance, that's expansion. I also want to say a Sagittarius could be significant because the number 14 that we have here is making me think of the Temperance card in tarot, which is related to Sagittarius. So yeah, Virgo placements or Sagittarius placements could be significant. And I'm also going to check the dates of when the moon will be in those signs, because that could be a time of the month that is going to be important. Actually, like right off the bat going into April, the moon is in Sagittarius. So like something could be happening at the very start of the month. And then if we go up here, the moon will enter into Virgo on the 18th. And then it will be in Sagittarius again at the very end of the month. So from the 18th onwards, like the second half of April, that could be a significant time for you. Like something important is happening. I feel like you're going through an important transition, especially with the symbolism of the butterfly. There's a feeling of transforming, there's a feeling of leveling up, and of course with things like that comes a little bit of nervousness, like I hope everything's gonna be okay. I'm just imagining a caterpillar going into their cocoon and they're like, I hope that I come out as a properly formed butterfly. Like, I hope everything goes okay in there. That's kind of the feeling that is coming up for you, and your ancestors and your spiritual team saying like, oh my gosh, baby, like you've got this. You're gonna become the most beautiful and strong and inspiring butterfly, and everything is gonna go so well for you. And we're so excited for you. Like you've got this. Now you go into that cocoon and you show them. That's kind of the feeling. And yeah, with Jupiter as well, you're going through some significant growth or expansion or leveling up in this month that is going to significantly change what your day-to-day life looks like from now on. So this is not only an internal transformation, I do believe that it's external as well. It's like the structure of your days is going to look different. You know, like getting a new job, for example, that could very much change like what time you wake up and what places you go to and what your routine is. Like that feels like it's changing for the better. I do want to be clear, it's changing for the better. I also think there's a lot of learning going on during this month. You may have to memorize a lot of details about something like during training or memorize a lot of stuff for a test, or learning a lot of little technical things, learning a lot of terminology, but it feels exciting. And you will remember these things just off of pure excitement and passion and interest. You could be taking a lot of notes this month, having to organize a lot of documents, have a lot of things written down. It will be good to have things written down. Make sure that you get things in writing so that you don't forget, or because these are important details that you want. You don't want to just rely on the memory of like, oh yeah, we agreed on this. Make sure that things are in writing. That's coming through too. If you are a writer, if that's something you do for a living, that endeavor of yours could be significantly blessed this month. Okay, so now we are going to look at your tea leaf cards for anything else, any other specific events or energies that you should know about coming up. Interesting, we were just talking about writing and then we get the ink pot. Problems to be resolved. Also, just looking at this ink pot spilling over, make sure that you have backups for everything. You know, if you have a key, make sure you have multiple copies of the key. If you have a hard drive with important documents on it, make sure you have a backup drive, or make sure it's on the cloud, or maybe you want to have physical copy of something and a digital copy. Make sure you have all your backups and make sure you have things in writing. That is coming through. And then we have the message, problems to be resolved. We have the I, psychic ability, trust your intuition. So that's a really interesting message to come through as well, because we were talking about you are experiencing kind of a thinner veil between the mortal world and the spirit plane. So you could be automatic writing and channeling messages from spirits this month as well. Of course, you have your psychic abilities all year round, but there's something about this month of April where you are feeling particularly connected to the spirit world. You are gaining insights from the spirit world, and you're also gaining a lot of protection. Pay attention to any feelings you get. Like if you get the word like the ick is coming to my mind. If you get the ick about something, or if something just doesn't sit right with you, that's probably something that you want to pay attention to, because that will be a sign that your ancestors are trying to protect you from something. And if you're feeling like you're being too picky, it's because you're meant to be. You are meant to be highly selective about whom you give your energy to and what you commit to and what you agree to. This is a time to be picky in a good way. And this is a time to have high standards for yourself. And we have Ant, work, achievement, and success. There is a feeling of you working very hard, or you have been working very hard, and that is paying off this month. And that success that comes your way actually motivating you to keep going. And I'm being shown this as opposed to an energy where, let's say you get success, you get what you want, and then you're like, okay, I can relax now. It's like, no, this is awesome. And this is motivating me to keep going and to keep staying consistent. Another example that's coming to my mind is reaching like a health goal, or reaching a fitness goal. So I'll use running as an example because I'm a runner. Like, let's say you reached a goal and you're running, as opposed to being like, okay, I reached this goal, now I'm gonna stop running, or like I'm gonna take a break from running now, like I earned my break, which is fine, but I feel like that victory actually makes you want to keep going. So, and also like I'm hearing you stay grounded and you stay humble regardless of what success is coming your way or what victory is coming your way, and you never take it for granted. So you could be reaching an important like achievement or getting a very important offer, but being very humble about it and being like, okay, I'm not gonna let this big success get to my head, and I recognize that I have to keep working to maintain it. Just being very like grounded and very level-headed about it. I hope that that makes sense. I feel like with this ant, you really are a down-to-earth and hard-working person, and you have the same high expectations and high standards for yourself, whether you are in this position in life or in this position in life. It doesn't affect wherever you are in society, wherever you're standing, you consistently have the same like self-worth and same standards that you hold yourself to. And it's very admirable. If you have any problems, decisions to make, things that are weighing on you, you could be solving them with your psychic and intuitive gifts. And I also see you reaching success through a mixture of your psychic insights and your practical efforts. You are very good at balancing the spiritual side of things and the practical side of things. And you're kind of very much living in both realms this month, which is super cool. You could be experiencing clairvoyance, or, you know, we spoke about you receiving a lot of signs from a passed on loved one. These could be things that you see, you know, like you see a butterfly flying by, or you see their name somewhere, or you see a message written down for you. We were talking about writing a lot as well. They could be sending you messages through words that you read, anywhere, written media, something like jumps out and speaks to you. I also don't know what this flower is, but I'm thinking that it's a lily for whatever reason. So someone named Lily or Lillian, or something in another language that means lily, could be significant. Okay, so this concludes the general overview part of your reading. So we're going to move into the specific areas of your life now. As you can see, I have one tarot card and one oracle card each for your love life and relationships, your career and studies, and your spiritual and personal growth. And actually, I'm just going to drink some water. Okay, and now we will get into it, starting off with your love life and relationships. For your tarot card, we have the 9 of Crystals, which is the 9 of Swords. And then for your oracle card, we have Stratopause. So I'm going to read this one from the guidebook because I don't know what it means. So let's see. Star, stellar, Stratopause. Okay, so this passage is on pages 94 and 95, in case those numbers are relevant for some of you. Maybe you or someone important is born in these years. Transition stage. Okay, makes a lot of sense. Transformation led by personal choice. The Stratopause is the level of the atmosphere, which is the boundary between two layers, the mesosphere and the stratosphere. Sorry, that just made me think about like the space. You could be spending a lot of time in the space between like the physical world and the astral plane. You could be doing astral travel. You could be having very vivid dreams or visiting people in your dreams. I mean, people who are incarnate on Earth. Your higher self could be visiting them, and you could be talking to people in the astral plane. Sort of, I just see your consciousness kind of going between realms. Its upper limit, turning point, is the stratosphere, which gives way to dynamic balance and complete balance, or descends to the coldest part of the atmosphere, mesosphere. This is a place of transit, just like a bus stop. Nothing nor no one stays here for long. The decision about where to go comes from us, and we have two polar opposites to choose from: black or white, left or right, yes or no. The important thing is to know that nothing pulls us to any of them more than our final determination. The result of this determination will be affected by the brief period we spend there. This decision can result in falling into the coldest part of the atmosphere or flowing in the river of endless balance and protection provided by the stratosphere. So, what is the key to not descending into an area filled turbulence and bone-chilling cold? How can we escape such a hostile environment? By making the decision from our inner warmth. If the decision comes from a cold, distant place or is divisive, rigid, or based on fear, then it will only bring repercussions in kind or will result in falling into an area hostile enough for it to survive. Behold the mesosphere. Portal. Always choose through the being. The stratopause is a layer of transition, a place that we move from through decision. It shows us roads with different destinations. We choose from them inside without much hesitation. Wow. Group number 2s, I can see why you have extra protection and extra comfort during this month, because it seems like you're at some kind of a crossroads in your life of like which way to choose. This choice could be regarding a relationship of yours. For some of you, I feel that the message is that you need to be careful about choosing from a place of what you think others expect from you, or, you know, like letting other people's opinions and letting other people's expectations or letting peer pressure affect your decision. Because this is a decision that has to come from you. Because at the end of the day, you are the one who's going to live with your decision, not everyone else. For some of you, it actually could be both. Like, there could be a decision that you have to make about a relationship, and other people are giving you their advice about what you should choose in this relationship. Maybe you asked for the advice, maybe you didn't. I don't know. But I feel like other people's expectations, or how you perceive other people's expectations, could be kind of clouding your judgment and leaning you more towards making your decisions from a place of fear. And I feel like your spiritual team is coming in so heavily because they really want you to trust your own judgment. And they're bringing you this energy of comfort and security so that you can have faith that whatever you choose is going to be the right thing for you. And I think there's some external factors that are making you second guess your own judgment and your own decision making. They want you to have more faith in what you're choosing for yourself. So the fact that this is coming out like in the relationship portion of the reading, it could be because there's a need to re-examine your boundaries. Like you could be giving other people too much power in dictating what choices you make. Or there's an important choice to make in a relationship, and it really has to come from the heart. The 9 of Swords is very much an energy of overthinking and being in your head, and it's also an energy about expecting the worst outcome, like assuming the worst. And so your spiritual team could be warning that you have a tendency to, or that for this particular decision, you might risk making your choice from a place of assuming the worst, from a place of like wanting to avoid the worst case scenario, versus like from a place of genuine love and genuine desire. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm a broken record, but it's like the choice needs to come from you, and the choice needs to come from your heart, regardless of what anyone else says, regardless of what readings tell you. And I see the irony in that with me doing a reading right now, but it must come from the soul. Some of you could be, because you're going through a transition in your life, you could have fears and worries about, are the people in my life going to see me differently? Am I going to lose touch with people once I go through this transition? Someone close to you could also be going through a transition, like a move or a career change or a change to their family life. And you could also be worried about losing touch with them because of that. For example, maybe your spouse gets a promotion and you're like, oh my gosh, they're going to be so much more busy. We're not going to have as much quality time. We're not going to have as much family time. Or maybe your best friend is like married and having children and starting a family. And you're like, oh no, what if we drift apart? Or, you know, which even as I'm saying it, I'm like, no, that's not true at all. But the Nine of Swords is not exactly logical. It just like spits out the worst possible scenario. Like, yeah, it's not always accurate. So you could be dealing with some kind of negative thoughts like that. And so your spiritual team is here really strongly with you to ease your worries, because your worries are an illusion. And what choice would you make if you made it from the place that I know everything is going to be okay? I know that I am safe. I think I've quoted this before, but there's some quote that basically says something to the effect of, the ego makes a decision based on what it feels it needs to do in order to gain security, and the soul makes decisions from a place of knowing that it's already safe. I probably didn't say that right word for word, but the sentiment, I hope, is conveyed. The decision that you make from the place of knowing you're already safe that's what your soul wants to do. So next we are going to look at your cards for career and studies. I just saw 2244, by the way, which could be a significant number for you. We have the Eight of Stars, which is the Eight of Pentacles, more Virgo energy coming through. And we have dark energy. Ooh. Okay. This dark energy, I'm actually seeing it as a void. And I'm seeing the void as infinite potential. You see this Eight of Pentacles, like this witch, she's cooking something up. She's brewing something up. And I feel like the void represents her infinite potential of being able to create anything. You are kind of in a magician-like energy. You're in a creative energy, but your creation is your life. It is your reality. Yeah. Also, this also feels like you're being protected from some nonsense, because we have this person who's cooking something up and we have dark energy. I'm not saying that someone's, you know, putting a weird spell on you or something like that, but if there was anyone who had negative energy towards you or ill intentions or just anything of that nature, anyone who would try to throw darkness your way, those kind of people could be triggered this month because of your successes, because there is some success coming for you in the month of April. And now we can see it's likely related to your career, like a career opportunity or a study opportunity that is coming your way. And I know this is not the nicest message, but there might be someone out there who is like bitter about that, or someone who weirdly feels like they're in competition with you even though you're not. It's giving one-sided beef, I have to say. And you're being protected from that as well. You are untouchable. But I feel like for the most part, this is talking about your unlimited potential, like your infinite creative potential. You can do it all. With the Eight of Pentacles, I often see someone who can wear a lot of hats. Like if you were making a movie, you could star in it, you could shoot it, you could direct it, you could do the special effects, you could make the costumes, like you can do it all. In your career or in your studies, you could be branching out to be able to do more, to be able to play more roles in your field. You could also be switching roles within the same company. It's like you're branching out so that you can wear more hats, so that you can take on more roles within your field. There's also a feeling with the Eight of Pentacles about really perfecting your craft and really like working hard day in and day out on something. And it's just occurring to me that if there's someone who's like bitter or jealous about your success, they probably view it as just like, oh, it came so easily for you. You just got so lucky. But they don't see the hard work, the days and weeks and months and years of hard work and consistency that went behind you reaching your goal. Anyway, we don't have to pay mind to that. This is mastery, perfecting your craft. If there's a specific project you're working on, you could be putting the final touches on it in April and just really perfecting it and feeling really proud of what you've created. You could also be brushing up on a skill. You know, like for example, let's say you're fluent in a language. Yeah, and that kind of goes back to this message. Just because you're fluent in a language, that doesn't mean you're done studying. You know, you should always go back and brush up. And that's you, like that's your energy that we've been talking about. I feel like you don't let victories or milestones like get to your head and make you take it for granted and get comfortable with it. It's like you're always staying on the ball and like, yeah, I mastered this language, but you better believe I'm gonna go back and keep reviewing and keep brushing up and learning new things. Like there's always something to perfect. And this is what really sets you apart, because you always stay in that mindset of, I can keep learning, I can keep brushing up. I would say with that in mind to be careful about perfectionism. Like it's a wonderful energy to be in, but it's also important to make peace with the fact that you're never going to be 100,000% perfect, and that's okay. But I'm not too worried about you guys. I feel like you brush up and you stay consistent because you're passionate about your craft. And that also really sets you apart. Like this group, I just feel this beautiful humility coming from you, and like it's all about your craft, and that's what you really want to come forward, is your dedication and your commitment to your craft and not anything else. Like it's about the work. Beautiful. Okay, so finally we are going to look at your messages for spiritual and personal growth. We have the Two of Pentacles, which is more Jupiter energy. So Jupiter energy coming through quite a bit, Virgo energy coming through quite a bit. Maybe someone who has Jupiter in Virgo is significant to you. I don't know off the top of my head when that is. If I had to guess, because I have Jupiter in Sag and it changes roughly every year. So maybe like 1992-ish or 2004-ish. Could be a little bit off, but maybe you already know that you have Jupiter in Virgo. Anyway, we also, oh my gosh, look. We have two infinity signs. I feel like, yeah, in life, it's just a constant dance. That's what I see when I look at this, because the Two of Pentacles is about like juggling, and definitely you need balance to do this. It's a constant feeling of juggling and recentering your balance, and things are constantly being tweaked. The work is never done. And I think this month is about embracing that. And I see, I see that theme in a lot of things that we've been talking about today. And weirdly, I feel like that realization takes a lot of pressure off of you. I was just talking about this with group number 1, like the healing journey. It's not just like you go from unhealed to healed and then everything is fine forever. There's always going to be ups and downs in the healing journey. And so I feel like it's kind of a similar energy where it's like nothing is ever really finished, you know? Mastering a skill is never really finished. Healing is never really finished. Getting your life in order is never really finished. Achieving inner peace is never really finished. It's like, if this center is your inner peace, you keep deviating from it and then coming back to it, and deviating from it and coming back to it. And that's just kind of the rhythm of life. It's not a line. It's an oscillation. It's a dance. And I feel like that removes a lot of pressure from you. Like, let's say you finally got your routine to how you wanted it to be. In that moment, you have this understanding of, yep, and in a little bit, my life is gonna change, or my mood is gonna change, or my priorities are gonna change, and then I'm gonna have to tweak it again. Or like, I've found my peace, I found my good mental health, and then as life goes on, something's gonna knock it out of balance again, and then I'm gonna come back, and then I'm gonna get knocked out of balance again, and I'm gonna come back. And life is that constant dance of like getting things back in equilibrium. And it takes off the pressure of you feeling like these things are a destination to get to, or like a task to be completed. It's constant work. And yeah, it's life even. It's just the process of like losing yourself and finding yourself again, and losing yourself and finding yourself again. And every time rejoicing in that finding of yourself. And being like, oh, there I was again the whole time. And that's honestly, even on a larger scale, that's what the universe is doing. It's like separating and then coming back together again, and separating and coming back together again. Yeah. That's how I view it, at least. So anyway, let's get into your final oracle cards. I'm also going to shuffle some of these because these came to my mind in group 1 and I really wanted to use them. So we'll use these at the end. These are going to be messages from your spiritual team as you move into the month ahead. Good, just been looking at screens a lot. So you could be having a lot of screen time this month. And I do believe it's work related. Especially if you are, actually, I was going to say especially if you're a writer, because I just imagine someone typing I just saw 3333. I just saw someone like typing away and they're like sat at their computer all day working on something. You could have a lot of screen time for other reasons, but I do feel like it's related to your work and it is something that's building to your success. But it will be important to offset that with, you know, getting up and stretching, going for a walk, getting fresh air, being in nature, doing something offline. The balance between digital and analog might be a big focus for you in April as well. We have the angel of self-love. I love to see that. And it says to give yourself love just as your angels love you so much, give yourself that love too. If that's not coming straight from your guardian angels and your loved ones on the other side, that is so sweet. It's like, we hope that you can love yourself just as much as we love you, and we hope that you can see how beautiful you are just as much as we see it in you. Someone with green eyes could be significant, or I want to say someone who had very long hair. So this may be someone who's on the other side. They could have had very long hair or green eyes. And then this card says the sacred dance. Moving your body also, I feel like, is a piece of advice for you. That could literally be dance, walking. I was talking about running before, even just stretching, yoga, any way that feels good for you, honestly. And seeing that as a sacred practice. This says dance is an expression of the soul, and dance is prayer. That's beautiful. Moving your body and seeing that as like a prayer and honoring your body. I'm also hearing like moving your body or putting things in your body to honor it rather than like to punish it, for example. Okay, and then finally we are going to get a couple cards from the I Love Me deck. What are some self-love messages for my lovely group number 2s? Journal and let it all out. So even more writing messages. And say something gentle to yourself. This really works, honestly. I've started kind of just talking kindly to myself, and I'll even hug myself sometimes and do like a, what do you call it? Like a there, I guess, like, oh, it's okay. Especially when I notice my body having an anxious reaction. My vagus nerve likes to do a lot sometimes. So I just have to like, it's okay, baby, everything's fine. And like comfort myself. And honestly, it really does work. So these are the messages for my group number 2s. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I'm surprised the battery lasted for the whole reading because these batteries are on their way out. So thank you, battery, for pulling through. I did get new ones. They just arrived today, but they're not charged yet. So, and from what it seems right now, I'm looking at the charger and these boys charge slowly. So anyway, enough about batteries. Thank you very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you are watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm gonna have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch tons of timeless, exclusive pick a card readings, and you can also suggest topics for future readings. I will link my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video. That is an original song. I will also have my latest release link down below. And finally, my vlog channel and my merch, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, anything I do. I really appreciate having you here, and I am sending so much love to you, to anyone who appeared in this reading directly or indirectly. Sending love to your higher self, your spirit guides, your spiritual team, and your guardian angels, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Have an amazing month of April. Bye bye. Hi number 3s, so if you guys chose the Celestite, this is going to be a reading all about your month of April 2024. We are going to start off this reading with the general overview, where we see the main themes and the main energies of your month ahead. And to do that, we're going to be using these oracle cards. So let's get right into it. Your first oracle card is number 9, Pink Rose Petals. Blessings, gratitude, joy. And we have peace. I find and share my inner peace in all circumstances. What a beautiful energy. No complaints for the month of April, group number 3. It looks peaceful. It looks like you are feeling blessed. You are feeling grateful. The roses are making me think of romance. So this could be a romantic month in the sense of positive developments in a romantic relationship, or just that you are really in an energy of romanticizing your life. I just saw 111, so that will probably be the case for many of you. Romanticizing your life and feeling gratitude in the small things. Finding miracles and reasons to be grateful and just the little everyday things of life. I feel like this is a month where you are being very kind to your mind and body, and your mind and body are being very kind to you right back. So there's a very strong sense of inner harmony. I'm also hearing this month receiving is going to feel very easy for you. So if you've been someone who struggles to receive love or to receive support, receive help, or even receive things like compliments and praise and recognition, that is something that's going to feel easier this month and feel very good. And you'll recognize how when you allow yourself to freely receive, it inspires you to give more, and then everybody benefits from it. This is a really beautiful energy that we're starting off with. For some reason, the fact that this card is 09, like it's not just the number 9, it's 09, it made me think of the year 2009. I don't know if that's like a significant year for some of you, but I just thought that I would mention that. And this artwork, I mean, the whole deck is beautiful, but when I look at this image, I just hear aesthetic. So you could be creating an aesthetic for yourself, for your work, for your physical surroundings, for what you wear, or you could be revamping your aesthetic or something like that. Also, clairvoyance could be a strong gift of yours, or a gift that is developing this month. In addition to inner harmony, I see harmony in your interpersonal relationships. There could be a conflict that is being resolved this month with someone whom you see on a regular basis, and things are going smoothly. If you're doing anything, any sort of teamwork, you know, working in a group, I feel like everyone is just working together really well this month. Peace and harmony, I think, are big themes for you this month. So let's take a look at your astrology cards and see what other energies are present here. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. We have the 7th house, which is the house of relationships and partnerships of all kinds, including romantic. So romance could be in the air for those of you who chose this group. And this is associated with the sign of Libra, which again has that feeling of harmony and people working together smoothly. So this is really a month of both inner and outer harmony for you. And we also have Saturn. In particular, there could be a relationship with, I want to say, an authority figure or someone above you that is more peaceful or harmonious than usual. So, for example, let's say you have a boss who is usually not so easy to get along with, at least for you, or maybe for many people. Or is just not in the best mood, or who is quite strict. I feel like their energy is just going to be a lot more soft and warm and inviting. And I feel like what Saturn makes me think is that even people that usually you don't get along the best with, whether it's like you're in a better mood or they're in a better mood, or the external circumstances are just less stressful. Maybe it's a combination of a bunch of things. Something is in the air that I think is just making you and people around you more at ease. And because there's less stress and tension, everyone is just getting along better. I don't know how else to put it. This could be a month where a significant conflict is resolved, whether that's in your family, in your workplace, in a romantic relationship. Like if there's an issue that you and someone else, the way it's coming through is like something that you keep butting heads over, and just when you think you've worked things out and things are going to be okay now, it just keeps coming back up, and it's like, okay, clearly we haven't gotten to the root of this disagreement. Some kind of disagreement or conflict is being settled, and harmony is being restored. With the 7th house here, if you are familiar with your birth chart, placements in your 7th house could be playing an important role this month, or someone who has, like, okay, I'll use myself as an example. I have Scorpio in the 7th house. So if this was my reading, Scorpio people or a Scorpio person could be significant to me. So it's like whatever's in your 7th house, someone of that sign could be relevant. It could be someone who has Saturn in the 7th house, or who has Capricorn or Aquarius in the 7th house, which would make them a Cancer rising or a Leo rising. So people of these placements could be significant. I also feel like the 19th of April is going to be an important date, because we have 19 here and then we have 9 and 10, which adds to 19. So 19th, also Leo placements, a person with Leo placements could be significant. And again, if you know your birth chart, when the moon is in your 7th house this month could be an important time. So again, using myself as an example, if this is my reading, then whenever the moon is in Scorpio in the month of April could be significant dates for me. If you're familiar with your birth chart and you feel like checking that. But anyway, let's move on to the next cards. So we have our tea leaf cards. We're going to see if there's any specific events that you should know about or any energies to look out for. We have Fly, a period of ill health, depression. We have Casket, someone going out of your life or the end of a situation. And we have Mule, someone is extremely stubborn and unwilling to change. So there's a couple ways I can interpret this energy. I am happy to see that we have like a period of ill health, depression, followed by the end of a situation. So for those of you who have been struggling with any form of your health, but especially mental health, like if you've been really struggling just to feel good, or struggling with anything related to mental health, I feel like the casket means that that is ending for the foreseeable future. You know, a casket does feel like quite a permanent ending. Of course, I can't confidently say that we can just fix our mental health forever and that we'll never have problems again, ever again. But I do think that for the foreseeable future, or for a significant period of time, you will enjoy positive mental health. It's also interesting that we have this message of someone going out of your life. I don't know if this is for everyone, but if there's a person around you who negatively impacts your mental health, this person could very well be exiting your life. And some of you might notice after the fact. It may not have been so obvious that it was this person's influence that was really getting to you mentally, but then once they have exited your life and you start to feel better, like you feel more peace, you feel a better self-esteem, it might be only after they're gone that you realize the negative impact that they had. That's just for some of you. If no one specific comes to mind, just ignore me. I think the main message for anyone who chose this group is that a period of negative mental health is coming to an end, and that you will enjoy inner peace for the next long time. I don't see you having other problems with that for the future. And then we have this message of someone is extremely stubborn and unwilling to change. So if there were any conflicts or disagreements that you were having with others, the root problem could have been that someone was unwilling to change. This could be you, this could be the other person, it could be a little bit of both. But I feel like the harmony that is being achieved will have to do with someone recognizing that they have been too stubborn, or they have been too set in their ways, and they have been too unwilling to see the other's perspective. So if you've been dealing with someone who has been really like who will not even budge, who will not even consider to look at things from another perspective, for one reason or another, they are coming around. And they'll start showing more empathy and open-mindedness and willingness to put themselves in your shoes or to put themselves in someone else's shoes. And we're finally reaching a good place. Another message that is coming through, and again, I don't think that this is for everyone, but so just take this if it resonates with you, but there may be things that you know if you did them, your mental health would improve, or you know if you stopped doing certain things, your mental health would improve, but you can't, it's either like you can't be bothered to do those things or to stop doing those things, or you just don't want to. And there is a feeling of kind of stubbornly refusing what you know would help your mental health. And maybe this is your sign to finally make that change. Because I'm seeing it as someone being like, I know that this is what I'm supposed to do. And maybe you've even done it before. Like, yeah, I did this once before for a period and it really improved my mental health. And I know that if I get back to it, I'm going to feel so much better. Like, I know this, but I just like, I can't, or like, oh, I just don't want to. That kind of stubbornness that comes from, I guess, being stuck in a habit. And so this is maybe a sign that you're finally breaking free from that. Okay, so this concludes the general overview part of your reading. So we're going to get into the specific areas of your life now. And as you can see, I have one tarot card and one oracle card each for your love life and relationships, your career and studies, and your spiritual and personal growth. So let's start off with your love life and relationships. For your tarot card, we have the Nine of Wands. And we have 528 Hertz. The Nine of Wands is related to the astrological placement of Moon in Sagittarius. So that could be relevant for some of you. And actually, I looked that up for one of the groups because they also had Sag energy. And the moon is going to be in Sagittarius at the very start of April and then again at the very end of April. You could also know someone who has that placement, or maybe you have that placement. 528 Hertz, I believe that this is the frequency of love, but I want to read this from the guidebook and see what it says. This deck is so interesting. I should really use it more often. And I'm guessing the number ones will be, yeah, the numbers are at the beginning of the guidebook. So 528 Hertz is on page 24, in case that's a relevant number for you. I also want to point out, like, the second I held this up to the camera timer was at 1441, like a mirroring number, and that just felt really nice and it felt significant because we are talking about harmony and it feels like balance, it feels like mirroring, which is a beautiful message when we're talking about love. So I think you are going to enjoy a really beautiful energy of reciprocity in your relationships in the month of April. And so that means receiving as much as you give and feeling joyful about that rather than feeling like, oh, I'm taking too much, I'm asking for too much, or I received from this person, so now I have to give even more. I feel like there's a very equal, it doesn't even sound right to say give and take. It just feels like a beautiful, balanced, energetic flow between you and the people around you. Also, okay, before we get into this passage, I just want to look at how these cards came out, because the Nine of Wands does have a feeling of putting your guard up. And the way these came out, it's like, this is you. And in the face of love, you are putting walls up. So this could be referring to a blockage that you've experienced when it comes to receiving love or feeling worthy of love, and that's something that you're healing this month. it could be ways that you block yourself or sabotage yourself from experiencing real love. I'm imagining someone, I'm just thinking of Sag energy, which likes to expand more and more and grow more and more. And there's a feeling of, like, let's say you want to manifest your soulmate. You might keep setting the bar higher for yourself of like, okay, I just need to get my career in order and then I'll be worthy of love and then I'll be ready to meet my soulmate. Okay, now I just need to get to my ideal body and then I'll be ready to meet my soulmate. It's like you might kind of put these conditions on yourself to determine, oh, there's a car honking outside, confirmation, to determine like when you are worthy of receiving this love. But deep down, there may be a part of you that is afraid, because to open up to receive this love, of course, requires a lot of vulnerability, and you have to really trust someone else and show them all of you, and that's something that's quite scary. So while you simultaneously want love, you may be subconsciously moving the goalpost farther and farther away, because it's like, if I never open up my heart to someone, then I can never get hurt. But the irony of that is that closing off your heart already hurts you. Or you could be dealing with someone like this as well, if this is not your energy. Yeah, some of you are dealing with someone like this. So let's read the passage from the guidebook. Unite, integrate, embrace. Everything in the world is made up of energy. This energy can neither be created nor can it be destroyed. The energy vibrates at different vibrational frequencies due to, why can't I read right now? The energy vibrates at different vibrational frequencies due to which it gets its unique nature. Do you want to know the most powerful energy source in all space? 528 hertz, the love frequency. How can you doubt what develops through an act of love? It is from here that everything is born. Love is an artist who works in silence, and generally the most transformative acts do not make much noise. They are like the person who collects your rubbish early in the morning. You do not know their motive, their name, their life, but they are still there every day doing something essential for you. There can be no large action without individual actions. What seem like small gestures combine to create an invisible yet indestructible connection. Love works like the universe, unseen and outside of the spectrum, but tangible in everyone's senses. 528 hertz is used to return human DNA to its original state. I would say that this is the answer to all your questions, but then we would be left without an oracle. Group number 3, you are definitely bathing in true unconditional love in the month of April, and remembering what it feels like, to revert back to your nature. I feel like many of you have been in this 9 of Wands energy, in this guarded energy, and in this perpetual state of, I just need to push a little bit more, I just need to hustle a little bit more, and then I'll be worthy of everything I desire. And we do this with external things, you know, like I just need to become a bit more successful, I just need to become a bit more attractive, I just need to make a bit more money. We also do it with inner things. I need to be a little bit more healed, I need to do a bit more inner work, and then I'll be worthy of love. And I feel like you're dropping that, because that version of you, this, like, I want to even say like hyper vigilant. I'm not even really sure what that word means, but hyper vigilant, like on the lookout, having your guard up, that is not your nature. The world, the external world has shaped you into this. And when you bathe in this frequency, you automatically revert back to your nature. And I think that receiving love from a specific person, or just receiving love in general from your support system, it's like I see you, and then there's a specific person, or there's like your circle, and they're all around you, like beaming this frequency of love into you, and you naturally just morph back to your original state and remember how good it feels and remember how good love feels. And it's from this place that you then go out in the world and you can recognize what is love and what is not love, what is done from a place of unconditional love and what is not. What is moving you more towards a unity consciousness and what is moving you more towards separation consciousness. Because there's a lot out there in the world that masquerades as love and that claims to be love, 2222 as I'm talking about this, that is not. And that may even believe itself to be love, but is not. And when we fall for those inauthentic portrayals of love, we can end up getting even more hurt and even more confused. And I just feel you this month and moving forward, getting very, very, very familiar with what love feels like, because it feels natural. It feels like your nature. It feels expansive. It feels effortless. And recognizing what it feels like when you make decisions from that place versus what it feels like when you make decisions from a feeling of like every man for themselves and needing to be fearful and needing to have your walls up or needing to prove yourself or needing to separate yourself from others. Like, getting really familiar with this frequency is going to help you a lot. And I know for a fact there's a ton of like meditative music out there or sound baths that contain this frequency. So listening to that could also be helpful. Okay, so let's get into your career and study messages. For your tarot card, we have the Hermit. We have some Virgo energy. And we have the Cosmic Network. This is melted rubber band, by the way. I use rubber bands to keep my decks together, and then when it gets hot, they melt sometimes. So I'm sorry about that. But this is very cool because the Hermit is very much like an inward journey. It's giving spiritual advancement, spiritual growth. And then we have the Cosmic Network. I think not only do you have a support system here on Earth, you have a very large support system, I want to say, in the stars. Like, you have a star family, or you have many soul family members who are not, at least they're not incarnate on Earth. They may be incarnate somewhere else, and their higher selves are helping you. But you have a very strong astral support system, and you're getting in contact with them. I just noticed as well, we have 3 9s in your reading. 9, 9, 9. I mean, this is the number 19, but 9 is there. Lots of 9s going on. If you see repeating 9s, or this might be a number that starts to appear for you, I feel like that's a message that your star family sends you. And 9 gives me the feeling of, again, advancement, awakening, also developing your psychic gifts. It also gives a feeling of near completion. It's like you are ready, you're tying up loose ends, and you're ready for a new stage in your life. So you could be ready to embark on a new journey in your career. Now that you're in a really good place with yourself and you move from love and you move towards love and you are guided by love, you are embodying love, you're in the right energy now to embark on this new journey in your career. You could be taking a path of more independence, is not the right word, because you are very much held within a network of support, but one that allows you to do things your way. You know, the Hermit is someone who marches to the beat of their own drum. So I see you in a role in your career that is more, I guess, that gives you more freedom to do things in your own way and to do things on your own time and to take the approach that you want. I don't see you bound by so much by rigid rules or bound so much by someone else's expectations. You could be ending a cycle in which you were under an authority figure or under a mentor or under a company, and now you're like, okay, this situation has served me as much as it can. Now I'm going to move on and do this on my own. Just for an easy example of this, it would be like if you were studying something with a tutor and now you're like, okay, I'm going to start doing self-study. You're like moving on, you can do this on your own now. Or you were a creator who belonged to an agency or a label, and you're like, okay, I'm going to be an independent artist now. There's something like that that's going on where you're no longer so closely under an authority figure or under a leader, and now you are becoming the leader of your own journey. But it doesn't necessarily mean you're entirely alone. I do see you in a community. I do see you supported. It's just that there's not really any specific person or entity who can tell you what to do. You decide what you want to do. Yes. You could be spending more time than usual, like working on solo projects or perhaps working at home, if I take the hermit kind of literally. But I feel like if it's not already, your career journey and your spiritual journey are going to be very closely related, or that relationship between your spiritual growth and your career is going to be really highlighted this month. So it's very clear how advancing in your career is contributing to your spiritual growth and vice versa. Okay, so finally, let's look at your cards for, as we've just been talking about, spiritual and personal growth. We have the Sun. So we have Leo energy coming through here, which I think I mentioned a Leo rising before. That could be significant. We also have 2 19s. So we have 3 9s and we have 2 19s. Seems to be an important number for you. Also, if you're doing your own readings or if you're watching other readings, look out for the Hermit and the Sun, because I feel like they represent you. They represent your higher self or your most aligned version of yourself. And ooh, we have the star, the Sun and the star. And the Sun is the star. And this star looks a lot like the star in the star card in tarot. Okay. For your spiritual and personal growth, first of all, the Sun, childlike energy, carefree energy. I feel like you are the sun who is proudly shining. And I really like that it's a unicorn in this deck, because I always feel like the unicorn encourages us to embrace what makes us unique. The sun also feels like authenticity. The sun also feels like we're not hiding anymore. Because the sun just indiscriminately shines light in all directions on everything. It touches everything. It exposes everything. And that's a very liberating feeling for you. It's like, I'm not hiding away anymore. I'm not gonna diminish or delete parts of myself because I think it's weird or it's not gonna get me ahead. Like, I am a multifaceted being, and all of my facets deserve to be shown. And I'm also thinking about when you have a multifaceted, like a prism, the light bounces off of every angle and then it makes it brighter. So it's like the more facets of yourself you use or you let come forward, the more light is gonna bounce off of them. And so it's like, the more authentic you are, the brighter you shine. The more sides of yourself you allow to come forward, the brighter you shine. I hope that that makes sense. Sunflowers and roses, I feel like could be significant signs for you as well. In terms of animals, we have snakes and any sort of equine animal, because we have a unicorn and a mule. Maybe horses are significant, which snake and horse are both animals in the Chinese zodiac. So someone who's born in year of the snake or year of the horse could be significant. And also, we're in the year 2024 right now, which is next year is going to be the year of the snake. The year after that is going to be year of the horse. So this could also be foreshadowing that the next 2 years are going to be like a really good time for you, a really peaceful time. This beautiful, harmonious energy that you're in is going to last for the next couple years. And it's funny because I was really having trouble here understanding, like, yeah, things are going to be good for the future. I know it's not forever, but it's for a significant chunk of time. And so I feel like it's coming together now. The next 2 years for you are going to be awesome. Just letting yourself shine unapologetically and recognizing that, because this is about coming back to your nature, right? I feel like your nature is, first of all, very funny, very talkative, bubbly, passionate, easily excitable, outgoing. Did I already say that? I don't know. Outgoing, loves to meet new people and talk to new people. And I mean, I can't tell you who you truly are, but I do feel called to say that if you don't feel like this, it might be because you have been like knocked down so many times and pushed down so many times that your spirit started to scrunch up and get smaller. Because, you know, maybe in the past or when you were younger, you were always like goofing around and being silly, which is, you know, humor is such a beautiful blessing. And maybe you got really excited about things and you would laugh really loud and you would like run around and dance around, and then people would say like, you're being too loud, or why are you so excited? It's not that big of a deal, or like you're causing a commotion. It's like, I feel like you had this big, bright, bubbly, I mean, you still have it, but you maybe stopped letting your inner sun shine so much because, and oh, that's so, I hate that for you if that's true, because it's like, I'm just imagining you being this cheerful sun and then some grumpy person being like, turn that light down, it's too bright, and just like, no. I don't like that for you, and I'm sorry if you've gone through that, but this being your spiritual and personal growth, this is not something you're becoming because you've always been this sun. It's just you're reverting back to this energy and spreading your light and spreading your cheerful nature. And if someone doesn't like that, I'm sorry, but that's like very like grumpy pants energy. Please don't let grumpy pantses stop you from getting excited about whatever you want to get excited about, and laughing and loving your life and dancing and being happy for no reason. Ugh, like, it's such a beautiful energy, and to feel like you would ever want to tone that down when this is the energy that the whole world freaking needs right now. And if someone ever tried to make you feel bad for that, it's because they probably also shame themselves for letting themselves shine. And turning your light off is actually doing a disservice to them, ironically. So we're shining indiscriminately on everyone and everything. And we're unapologetically loving life and being the excitable and passionate person we are. And I think the star is really the same thing, like just shining like the star you are. But the star, we did talk about star family. So, you know, shining your light in this way, I do think will attract the members of your star family who are here, who are incarnate here, and really finding your community. Okay, so for the last part of this reading, we're going to look at a few oracle cards. We're gonna change the battery first. I finally bought new batteries because these ones are not holding their charge anymore. But then the new batteries arrived, but they had no charge in them, so I'm still charging them. Anyway, I'll be right back. So for final messages from your spiritual team as you move into this new month, I love this one. It's okay, you're not supposed to be doing anything right now. This goes out to people who feel pressure that I should be doing something productive right now. I need to get this and that done. I should be doing more. And it all comes back to getting into this frequency of love and just recognizing your motivations behind the tasks you assign yourself and the things you commit to and just the things you do every day in your life, and making that discernment between like what you want to do versus what you think you should do or what you think you're supposed to do. This could also be another sign of moving away from an authority figure or having less of an authority figure on you and having more freedom to decide for yourself what you really want to do. 111, as I'm saying that. We also have the angel of interpersonal relationships, which makes a lot of sense because we had that 7th house card come out, the love card here. We had that romance feeling with this card and all those messages about harmony and reciprocity. And I love how these two angels even look like a mirror of each other. You could be dealing with someone who you feel is a mirror to you, or you could be meeting someone new this month who mirrors you in a lot of ways. Oh my gosh, and this is literally about receiving. It says to receive gifts from other people and that your angels are supporting you so that you can build relationships with others that are full of love. Beautiful, beautiful. It goes so well with the messages of this reading. And then we have Lady Lemuria. She is giving me High Priestess vibes, Miss number 2. I love her. Your inner goddess is awakening and miracles will start to happen. Woo! I also just love that you are getting into this mindset where not only are new miracles happening, but you're seeing the miracles that have already been happening all around you. You know, whatever we look for, we see more of it. And so if you get into that mindset of being grateful and that this existence is a miracle, you'll start to see so many of the miracles that have been hiding in plain sight all around you. Even if you look into sound and the harmonic series, like that feels like a miracle. That it's wild. Sound is, I can't even explain it. I literally can't, but I'm in awe of it. Anyway, to finish off the reading, we are going to pull some cards from the I Love Me deck just to get a couple of self-love messages for you. Ooh, okay. We have Give Yourself a Loving Hug. I was just telling another group, I think group 2, about how I give myself hugs. It's very nice and I highly recommend it. And we have Daydream. Allowing yourself to daydream. Sometimes it's important to make time for this. I feel like having a very full schedule and always having something to do, or always feeling like you have to be doing something or you have to be somewhere, it kills creativity. And it's funny because sometimes I'll be feeling not so motivated to do productive things with massive finger quotes. And at first I might feel guilty for it, but then I just start messing around and doing something. I have to use really big finger quotes for this. I'll start messing around and doing something that I'm not supposed to be doing in that moment because I'm supposed to be working on something else. And it's in those moments that I get a lot of inspiration and I start to just get creative and play around with stuff. So I think it's important to give, and maybe something you want to focus on in the month of April is giving yourself like unstructured time, carving time out, or just giving yourself time where there is no specific thing that I need to be doing right now. If I end up feeling like working on my usual stuff, great. If I end up feeling like doing nothing, great. If I mess around and make a painting or knit a sweater, that's awesome. Like, just whatever you feel like doing in that moment, and not putting any expectations about what needs to come of this time. Okay, so group number 3s, these are all the messages I'm getting for you, so I'm gonna end your reading here. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm gonna have a link down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch tons of timeless, exclusive pick a card readings, and you can also decide topics for future readings. I will link my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video. That is an original song. I will also have my latest release link down below. And finally, my vlog channel and my merch, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really, really appreciate having you here, and I'm sending so much love to you, to anyone who appeared in this reading directly or indirectly. I am sending love to your higher self, your spirit guides, your spiritual team, your beautiful star family, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. I hope you have an amazing month of April, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.